Fitting the front mudguard and head badge on the Raleigh chopper, nearly finally completed.
Hi again,
Thank you
everyone.
all for watching to the end.
On to the next part of the build. I haven't really got much left to go on to this bike now. Front mud guards came, so I want to thank Chris on the Raleigh Chopper Owners Club forum on Facebook. As soon as I put a message out there saying I was looking for a mud guard, popped up saying he's got a Mark 4 one, which goes with the theme. So, reference again, we've got Mark 4 rims, Mark 4 mud guards now, same with the handlebars, and gear shifter cover, which is also Mark 4. Yeah, so coming to a close of the build. I've still not got a set of pedals yet, but what I'm going to do, when they come, I'll do a video and we'll go on its first voyage, really. So it's getting there now. It's come a long way in comparison to how it used to look. So yeah, so first things first, we've got the front mudguard. Let's get that. And I know a lot of guys will say, oh, well, it's not an original, but it's going with the theme with what we've got. So, and they are a bit of a better shape than other reproductions out there. I know they're not bang on, but they do have a nicer creases in the actual mudguard. So that's the Mark 4 one. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate that so much. Get that bolted up. I've given it another polish because giving it a quick polish. Reason being, these are all nickel plated, so you can polish them up so they look like chrome, but they're not. So it just adds that little bit of bling. So yeah, we'll get that into situ. I'll show you a little tip as well, what to do when you've got these brake stays what go on the back. It's an old trick really, but if you get an old bicycle pump attachment, what goes to the push one, you can actually take all this apart, and then the similar diameter to the brake stays what go on the back. You can buy tubes like that now. Obviously, you go to some what's it called? You go to like automotive places, and they do have like little breather pipes what are rubber, so you can do that, or use shrink wrap. But it's always another option if you're local to a bike shop and you need something to do. You literally take that cap off, strip the fabric off there, and it'll expose it to a rubber hose. So yeah, first things first, we'll get the caliper off, slide the mudguard straight into there. So I've already taken it. This has not been bolted up just yet, so slide that there. You poke. You look on the front side. If you guys don't know, you've got 2 tabs. So that will go actually in the bottom of the steerer tube, and then that will rest on the back of the fork where the brake caliper bolts up to. We'll get that in there. And I've got some head badge rivets as well to go on. The head badge can go on this one. And then situ. At least then I can fine tune the front brake. Get the washer and nut. I think I've got a small enough washer to go on there ideally. But this one will do at the moment. Ooh. So yeah, come a long way with this bike. If you watch the past videos and from when I've been building it up from the start. I think I've got a 12 now. looking good. Oh yeah, I've got another thing to put on as well. Got a Speedo, an old Heret one. Get that chucked on as well. Sadly, it hasn't got the internal cable for it, so it won't read the miles per hour on it. But I'm not really particularly that bothered. All it is going to be there for show until down the line I probably will be able to get a cable for it. But it's an attachment what will, well, with the Speedo one I've got, it's got the attachment where it runs on the side of the wheel, and ideally you want the one where it's, I think it links up to the rear hub. And I don't know if you have to get them calibrated for a 20-inch wheel. I'll have to have a look, find that out. Got a bit of resistance on that. Probably, that might be alright actually. Probably track that off a little bit. Try that. The low rider gets a little higher. That one's slackening off. Got a bit too much tension in that. I'm gonna have to take these brake calipers apart anyway and put some grease on inside. Just a dab of grease so it runs that a little bit more freer. It's a little bit better. Get it to where they go that a little bit better. They want no resistance on them either. Let's check that now. Too bad. That might be the front wheel's not straight enough. That's probably what one of the issues is. Try slacking that one side off and see if that resolves the issue a bit. 14, I think it is. 14? 13. I think it is 13. I think it's 14. Oh no, 13. Just slacking that off. So I can bring the wheel over that little bit. Looks like it's shifted over a little bit anyway. Okay, so the front wheel or front brake clears bothly properly. Right, spin them calipers round. Dangle them. Two washes to put on this. washer somewhere. Another one. So adjust that up at a later date. Put some more washers here, I'm sure I have. Show you something quite cool as well in a second. Yeah, workshop, a ride for BMX racing. You've seen the videos. He's actually got a 3D printer, so he's had a go at making the piston which goes into the shifter arm. So they're generally white, but it's just had a play bit. So that will be fitted where your gear cable goes into, and then obviously your your gear shifter lever will sit there. You've got two ball bearings will go either side with a spring in the centre. So he's had a go at that. It was a bit sloppy on the very top, but it's only a test sample really. So if anybody wants some of them, give us a message. We're still testing them really, because obviously different stuff you make. You've got to adhere to the heat. You've got to get your heat right on when it comes out. So, but yeah, perfecting that. I know there's so many different people actually making them, but you can always try them out. Right. Check the length on this as well for this rubber hose. Oops. Washer on. Put on there a second. So I was saying, got your back of your brake stay, and then you snip that. Let's go around. So I'm gonna go pair of snips, as we should do. What we want somewhere. Let's have a clear up. Oh, no way. Just realised what colour this actually is inside. Usually the black. This one's white. I might have to leave this bit at the moment. White internal. Yeah, normally these are black. This one's white, so I'm going to leave that at the moment. I've got some shrink wrap, so I'll probably use some of that. We've got enough on it. I was going to put some on here as well. So just got some shrink wrap. That's going to be too big for that area. I'll leave them at a later date. But I've got some to go on the back of the brake stays will go here. So I'll cut that to suit and shrink it off and then snip it off. Shape. So yeah, brake calipers are going on then. Shouldn't do too much damage anyway. He's getting there as well. Getting there very nicely. I think I'm going to order some new brake pad inserts. These ones are quite tight. This one looks like it's moved that littlest bit because I had them reversed. Let's get that chucked on. A washer on it. That should be wrapped around the brake and the fork. Got some slight tweaking to the brake caliper as well. As I was making some brake calipers up, these are what it is I've had to make. What have I done? Think about 4 sets of calipers, and I've managed to make 2 good ones out of the 4. I think the chrome's not too bad on the other ones, but I've tried to make the best out of these. So what I've done, I've just put them aside. So if I do in the near future do any more of these, so I'll send them off to get re-chromed, same as other parts. Ideally, I'd love to get my Mark 1 back, which I had. Did a full nut and bolt restoration on that. Everything got sent off to get re-chromed. The only thing really what was on it reproduction was the gear lever, gear knob, and the sissy bar. The seat cover was redone, so yeah, that would have been reproduction. But apart from that, it was an all of the mint bike, so upturn cleat with a gooseneck stem. So if you don't know what an upturn cleat is, it's basically you've got a cleat down here and it's reversed. So one of the very earliest ones, it was January 1970, and even though when I got that bike was in such a rough state, the sissy bar was seized, top tube was bent, not megally bent, not megally out, not majorly out of place, but it was kinked in. So run a straight edge on it and then just applied a bit of pressure on it and straighten it back into shape. Luckily no major dents actually in the tube either. It's just it was bent out of shape, so luckily I could get all that back in. There's no cracks or re-welds on the frame either, which is always a bonus. But yeah, a lot of the time on the earlier Mark 1s they did break on the bottom of the stays down here. So on the later Mark 1s you'll notice it will have like a wrap round, same as the Mark 2. So that was the later version of the Mark 1. Sometimes just pull these out ever slightly. All it is with these ones, they're not chopper brake pad. Well, they are Raleigh, but they're not specifically chopper ones. They're I think they was probably off an RSW, if I'm right. So let me get that a little bit more of a bend. No, just so we're not scraping anything to make too much of a damage, at least then it's hooking around the back of the fork. And ideally, you can adjust these up. It's like this one, slightly tweaked, but a bit of persuading, it will go into place. That's in situ now. Saying this front brake calipers needs tweaking that little bit. It's got a slight twist in it, so you do. Best to do is an adjustable. Let's give it a slight tweak. Okay, check if it's lined up. It's better. And I think one of them slightly tweaked backwards, but it might just be this one. That one looks pretty straight. That one's not too bad. But at least the calipers move them both at the same time. I'll just tighten that brake pad up. Same on this side in a second. Nipping up. Do the job. Check we're on that side of the room. Yep. That way. That should do. That brake as well, that's got a bit of resistance in it. But yeah, will do. Spin it around a little bit. Get it to where you guys can all see as well while I put the badge on. Zoom it in that little bit as well. Just check with that. Oops. There we go. So I've got an original badge. It's not been repainted, just polished it. So I'll show you that on screen now. Just polished it, used auto sol, a bit on a buff and wheel. So got that, and then got a pack of head badge rivets in the brass colour. I think they are brass. But best way I try to do these, use a nose end pliers. Where are they? So you can do it where you put a bit of Scotch 3M double-sided tape on it, or any double-sided tape, just hold it in position. But I haven't got none of that in the moment. Just hold it into place. But if not, you can always get your nose head pliers like them, and just hold the end of it like that. At least then you've got it in position, so you hold that there. Oops, drop that. Just make sure you've got a firm grip on the pliers before trying to tap away. So you might not even have to use them. So it lines up with it. The best way to apply these as well is when you've got forks out of the frame. Might not need the nose end pliers, but sometimes it can be easy for some people. So it's got, whoops. So yeah, get that to there. Get a slight little tap. Like I say, it can be better to fit these when the forks are out of the frame. Reason being, if the rivets are too long, they'll actually score against the forks. So at least if you've got them out of the frame, you can file the back edges. The forks out of the frame, so you can file the back edges of the rivets. If it's too long, but just yeah, like they're hitting a bit, but they are brass. They won't damage the frame, but like I say, it is ideally better getting them on when you're applying the decals and applying the decals and just fit the badge at the same time before fitting the forks. And just make sure your holes are clean as well, where the rivets originally sat in. You poke them through already. Reason being, if you've had it powder coated or painted, it can always be a bit more of a struggle to put them in. That top one was pretty easy now. As I'm looking at these ones, they look a bit tighter, but it might just be the size of the rivet. Because from what I can see, there's different sizes which he has sent me. Here's some skinny ones. Yeah, skinny ones. So get that one into there. and that little bit. This is where I was saying with like the nose head pliers, they do come in handy, stuff like this. So at least then you can hold it in position, tap on the nose head pliers as you got it in. So. And another thing, what's best to do, don't fire all the head badge rivets in at once. Just do them so they sit in loosely first, and once you've got it all lined up, then drive all of them in. Just at least then, if there's slight differences in the hole sizes or differences in where they line up with, I've got a bit of movement to play with. All it is, if you fire all the rivets in at once, you will have issues trying to line it up, and then you can damage the frame, damage the rivets, damage the badge. So see, just getting all set in like they are now. Once that's all done, just so you guys can see, once you've got them all done, just fire them in. And there might be, right about now, putting onto the floor. And another thing, before you put that badge on, and I've already pre-done this before, but bend the badge in a little bit, so at least then it presses round nicely. Once this badge is all together, and say if your badge is slightly flattened, you'll have it where it flicks out, where if you press it in that little bit, it'll wrap around the steerer tube nicely, in comparison to where it will all flaring out. A lot of the time at the top of the herring badge, around these two parts. That one's in. One's in. Needs to go in that little bit more, but so I know they're going to be catching the forks because I can feel it already. So like I was saying, the best thing to do is attach these when it's out of the frame. It's freed up now, probably just flicked off. There's one again. Again. There we go. I'll probably be stuck in the steerer tube now, but they're on now. So yeah. Next thing I'll be waiting for, well, what I was saying I was waiting for is the pedals. So as soon as they come, we'll do a video on its first voyage, really. It's for its first ride. So just trying to think what else. And then in that, I will do a price breakdown. So yeah, got the head badge on now. Coming to near enough the end of the build. All I'll be doing now is waiting for the pedals to come in. And then from that, we're going on its first voyage. And then, yeah, we'll get some good videos. I'm from Nottingham as well, so I'll try to show you some of the Raleigh places of where the factories were and roads and other things associated with Raleigh and everything else. And another thing I'll do in the video, I'll do a cost breakdown of everything, how much it will cost. So you guys will know where, well, if you're restoring a bike and you want it to look nice, you can go and do it on a bit of a budget. Or if you're going for mint and looking for a show bike where you're going to send all the stuff off to get re-chromed, or going down the line of having a nice looking bike but you're getting it to where it's original, where you're not touching the chrome, you're just cleaning it. That's where I've said with like, this is a bit of a mix where, like with the cranks, they are Raleigh 20 cranks, they're not chopper ones, but if you use Brillo pads with a soap, you can bring something up what you'd thought, or it could do with a re-chrome, but you can always get away with just Brillo padding, same as a lot of the parts on a chopper. So say you've got one on what's quite rough, you could always polish up the paintwork and, well, clean up the chrome with doing it that way. So it's like with this, I've done it to where it's a bit of on a budget, where it's not going to cost somebody an arm and a leg, and you get the similarity of the looks of an original Raleigh chopper without being in depth of an original Raleigh chopper. So that's where, with how I've gone with this theme, I've gone for the Mark IV mudguards, Mark IV rims, Mark IV handlebars, reproduction sissy bar, what's not Mark IV, but a reproduction sissy bar, what John Carter makes, and then a seat cover off eBay, which was £30. It's not an Niven Lad, but I went for this one because the material looks close enough to original, plus spacing on the actual saddle top as well. I did manage to have this bicycle is not constructive seat strap, so the only thing it hasn't got is the actual logo what goes over the top. And then luckily I had a Ground Cruise saddle, which I did cut down to a Mark II size saddle. Reason being, the one I had was too far gone, and trying to put a cover on it where the pins aren't looking the greatest. At least we could get it on that. So what I did was cut it down and just roll the front edge, and then already had an original Mark II seat foam. And then I did have a Ground Cruiser rear seat plate, which I know it does say Ground Cruiser. You don't even know that if you look close enough, but that's in chrome, so that's fortunate we had that. Like I've been saying in the past, rear racks. I don't know if the guy's still selling them now, but they're £40 and they're chrome plated into comparison to where I think some of the Mark IV ones, they can be zinc coated or they can be chrome. So, but you can polish them up, but they do dullen over time, and that's the reason being, like, another jumping onto another thing. I went for the stainless steel spokes, just so I'm not having to polish them up all the time, or they don't dullen because they are galvanized coated. So that's where I went with the stainless steel. And then the chain guard, that was a reproduction one. The shape's pretty close to the original, really. You've got the two slider holes, which you see, where I've seen porous chain guards have been reproduced and they haven't either got any of them holes and the proper spacing on the rear, so you're having to add a washer. So say if you got it painted professionally instead of powder coated, you could do that, and then the chain could go around and then scrape the back end of the chain guard without even knowing that you needed a spacer there. If you got a frame of forks and you didn't get a chain guard with your bike. So yeah. And then, oh yeah, another Mark IV part, we've got the gear shifter cover. So let's hope Raleigh do bring them back into production, Mark IVs, at least the spares. As everybody knows, they would be nice to have out there, and it could be doing it to where it's like a catalogue type of thing. So you're building right, it has to be at the right time, but at the end of the day, if you're rebuilding one of these, at least you can do it a bit on a budget in comparison to paying over the odds for original parts. It's, as these bikes getting older, the parts are getting harder to get hold of, but at the end of the day, these bikes are still out there. They're not completely all gone. At the end of the day, there was 1.5 million of them made and produced, so people have probably got them in the lofts or got them in the cellars or in the sheds, but they are still out there. They're not completely gone. It was like this one originally when I brought it up from Chesterfield, not far from where I am, well, about 20-30 miles away, and I paid actually £70 for the whole bike, where with a Mark II, to get a decent one, not mega mint, but a bike-ish, you're looking like £500 to £600. So it was actually a blessing to get this. So At the end of the day, I'm not doing this to make a profit. I'm doing it for all you guys to see and enjoy. At the end of the day, at least it gives you a bit of tips and pointers how to rebuild one without getting stuck. And I'm always a message away, so if anybody needs tips and tricks and help really to get these built back up, or it's at the end of the day, it's a bike, it's to be there to be ridden and enjoyed. And yeah, like I say, we have got a couple of original parts. Will go down. The brake calipers there, they are Raleigh. They might not be chopper ones, but Raleigh with a lot of the parts what they made, they're quite generic. So same as the headset, lamp brackets, bottom brackets, but you do have to get the right one because this one is a 21 GC, where I think Icon the shoppers and the other Raleigh bikes are a 16, so it's slightly narrower. So you will have that issue. So always go for the 21. Yeah, it's got an original gear lever on it, which was re-chromed, and a newer stock gear knob. You would find them on special editions and 5-speed Mark 1s. But yeah, it's coming, it's getting there. Brake levers are original. Grips are reproduction. They're off eBay, about 12 quid. And literally the difference is it hasn't got another rib part there. So, but apart from that, getting there. Oh, and the acorn nuts on the back, they're what John Carter makes. So you do the whole seat bar, but like I say, I'll do a price down. I know I'm nattering on now, but I'll do a full breakdown and price on of everything, how much it costs. Same, he does our nuts. So yeah, if you can, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, share. And yeah, I appreciate it all if you do so. But yeah, you'll see a lot more of this. I've got my brother's chopper to be done, so I'll show tips on when I'm building. Well, not building it up. It's just going to get a refresh. So I'll do a new set of decals on it. It's got a Mark 4 saddle on it, but I do need to do some slight adjustments with the rear springs and sleeves and stuff. And yeah, I've got some painting to do. I've got some mud guards and bits of bobs, so I'll go through that with everybody. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, guys.